Akhil Tewari, Director for School Toppers. Thank you so much for joining us. I
Hello.
understand so
Hi.
many coaching institutes may not want to join us. We have reached out to a couple of them. They did not want to come up and speak in open. Thank you for joining us on this.
Thank you.
And I understand you may not be talking about yourself, but of course you would be representing the coaching institutes, the culture of coaching institutes. I
Yeah.
want to ask you one question. Why can't the IITs, why can't the UPSCs, why can't the top medical colleges be cracked without coaching institutes? Why are they so indispensable? And I know there are people who do crack these exams without coaching institutes. I understand that. But why is it becoming a necessity? As a coaching institute owner yourself, and I understand you would have understood there's a market for you, and therefore you would have also got into it with the aim, of course, to help aspirants and so many other aspirations as well on your part. But why is it so critical? Why are children living in pigeonholes and being cramped up in coaching institutes to be able to crack an exam that seems so difficult for them?
So yes, see, what students need is a good teacher. If a good teacher they get in any of the school, they can crack the exam. So the thing is that we should not bring all coaching into a negative aspect. One of the best teachers you get in all the coaching institutes. So if a school provides a good coaching, is a good teacher, student can crack it on their own. But the basic understanding, see, till 10th you need teachers, right? So even 11th, 12th you need teachers. The science, the level of questions which they ask in general in science or in particular in JEE advanced are decently tough. But even if you ask board level questions for an easy exam like JEE mains, which is recently easy, you need a basic understanding for which you need a good teacher. So if anybody provides good teachers, it might be coaching institute, it might be a school, it might be anybody, it will help student to crack this exam. So coaching is not a necessity, a good teacher is. So that is how that student has to go and find a
So,
good teacher.
so even for
You're
coaching
not audible.
institutes,
I'm
you may
not
have good teachers. No, I'm saying even if you're talking about coaching institutes and you may say coaching institutes have good teachers, fair enough. Obviously, they're going to be coaching students, so they would have teachers at a certain level. And fair enough, you have brought in the failure of the education system that we all are aware of. I'll try and get another panelist to speak on this. But if I could at this point ask you again, where does economics of coaching institute and the accountability of coaching institutes merge? Why I ask you this question, because if you look at so many coaching institutes, you have classrooms full. You have hundreds of students in one classroom. And that may quite be a minimal number. There are so many more. I was just watching I think it was 2 months back, where a student collapsed in a coaching institute out of a possible heart attack. That was in a very different instance that had come out. But I'm just remembering those visuals. And it was a packed classroom with no ventilation, with nothing. So where does the economics and the accountability of these coaching institutes really come into play?
They agree with you. Like I also run a coaching institute in Bombay in the name of School Toppers. So we have a batch size of 35. So it depends on coaching to coaching. What is the batch size? An ideal batch size for coaching
I
for JEE
understand,
NEET
but
is
where
35.
does the accountability and no, I'm not saying about your institute. I'm just saying, where does economics and accountability come into play?
No, you
Because
are
if
saying
you
that
are having one good teacher, as the coaching institutes boast of, you definitely can't be catering to 150, 200 people at the same time in the same classroom in the same batch.
that's what I'm saying. It is a choice of the parents. There are different coaching who are cramping, but the coaching who are not cramping. So we can't categorize all coaching into one bracket that everybody is teaching to its quota. The batch size is 200, I agree. But they have big rooms also. And that fees is also accordingly. So we should not. Kota is also doing a good job. Like I'm not from Kota. My coaching is not in Kota. But I want to say is that Kota is not to be in such a bad light. Finally, they are producing best of the engineers and best of the doctors. Finally, you have to understand it is the fault of a society at large. It is not the coaching institute. It's the pressure by the society where you and I are equally responsible. The parents, the teachers, the schooling system, everybody is responsible.
Certainly. Akhil Tewari, do you want to respond? Do you also want to respond to what Aditya Raj Singh had spoken about how if they have these batches and if they get, the lower they get into the batch, it seems very difficult to catch up with life, to catch up with peers, this culture of shame that exists in several coaching institutes, not all. And again, I want to make this very clear. I am not against coaching institutes. I have gone to coaching institutes. I have had coachings. And it's been very helpful in life for various reasons. I am not against coaching institutes. There is a systemic lapse and lacuna, and that's why you do require a system to plug into it. And I understand coaching institutes seem to be a response to that. However, there definitely is a culture of shame, Akhil Tewari, that seems to permeate in the name of competitiveness.
View that there is a system of grading in Kota, and I'm completely against it. That the whole point of stress starts when you start comparing one kid to the other. Whether that parent might be comparing, a coaching institute might be comparing, or teacher might be comparing. Finally, we have to trust that these exams are just exams. JEE Advanced, JEE Mains, NEET, all these are just exams. There are more exams. That avenues in life are a lot more. We have to tell the kids this thing, and it has to be on a continuous basis. See the numbers. If you see the numbers, there are 25 lakh NEET aspirants, and finally, if 10,000 odd students will get MBBS. So majority of them are going to fail. So we have to tell the kids that it's okay to fail. That is the point we're missing. The agenda should not be that who is wrong. But right now we should be discussing that how to tell the kids that it's okay to fail. There's no problem in failing. Failure is just an incident. Today you have failed, you'll be successful tomorrow. And you take any examples.
I don't think the agenda is wrong. I don't think the agenda is wrong, sir. I really don't think the agenda is wrong. I would beg to humbly and very calmly differ with you. Agenda is not wrong. One agenda is definitely to tell students that it's okay to fail. And fail, by the way, is a very relative word. You may so-called fail in one aspect. That does not mean you fail. That's very important to learn as well. However, the agenda is also to ensure that our students are able to get opportunities in an environment that they can thrive, where definitely including coaching institutes as well as schools have completely failed most often than not. And I guess it's time to bring in accountability. It's of course the election season, and I just hope that this would resonate with whoever would be the next education minister, whoever would be the next prime minister, and we would see some very active interventions that would take place in this particular field. Dr. Bharat Singh, Akhil Tewari, Atisha Keswani, Aditya Raj Singh, and Shreya Soni, thank you very much for joining us, for giving in your precious time. There's very little that we can do on our screens through these discussions, but one thing that we can do is speak about it as much as we can, even if we can make a difference for one life. Thank you very much for joining us.